Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. It's time for your match preview, pre-match thoughts ahead of Leeds United versus Manchester City. A game that not really looking forward to, if I'm being truthful. I think a lot of fans are in the same boat as me. I'm very, very anxious, to say the least, because when I say I can't call how it's going to go, I can in terms of who is going to win. um, but I think it's one, the scoreline, and two, how we actually perform overall. If we perform anything like we did against Palace, boy, it's going to be a long night. Let's just put it that way. But just before I get into it in more detail, smash that like button. Please subscribe and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already, go check out the membership available on Chatting Leeds. It's £1.99 a month. You'll see all the perks that come along with that as well. So then, Leeds versus City. Under the lights at Ellen Road for a late Saturday night kickoff, 5:30. I will be in attendance, just like I was at the Etihad on that cold, wet Tuesday evening, I think it was, back in December when City pumped us 7-0, which at the time felt like it was the end of the world and it was embarrassing. But when you actually isolate it, City, I think, were that good that night. Yes, they were playing against us, and our squads are in different universes, but I think they were going to beat anybody by that scoreline that night, or at least by a very convincing scoreline. They were just on it from minute one, and we just couldn't adapt. Obviously, it was under Bielsa. It was the man-marking system against the best team in the world. So it wasn't an ideal game, let's be real. But yeah, can we take anything from that? Not really. I think the most we did in that game was, I think Dallas hit the post at one point in the second half. I think that was it. Other than that, no, that was just a very, very bad night at the office, and City were just worlds apart, just levels above. So going into this one, Leeds United are 5 games unbeaten. Last time out against Palace was not a great watch. I think from both teams, I think Palace fans would probably say that it was a bad game as well. I think they kept giving the ball away, and so did we. The ball retention is absolutely shocking for Leeds at the minute. And I think Marsh, openly said, he was arguing with Click and like other players because they were going back into the like man marking system basically, rather than going zonal, which in a way you can not understand, but when you're used to playing a certain way for 4 years and then it just changes within a matter of weeks, it can be hard for some players to adapt. Especially the likes of Harrison and Rafinha, who are wingers, and they're asked to be playing more centrally. And I think this way that Marsh is trying to play, obviously, it's so narrow, and the opposition fullbacks are just having the license to just bomb forward in acres of space, which leaves our fullbacks with like a 2-on-1 scenario, like Ayling and Dallas against Palace. Whenever like Zaha or like Elise, when he came on, had the ball, their fullback were doing the overlap, and there was just no one else out there to cover. So it will take time, and obviously this narrow way of playing scares the living daylights out of me playing against Man City, because their fullbacks are just going to have the license to just bomb forward, like I just said. Now, team news from Man City is that Kyle Walker and John Stones are both injured for this game, so they'll be out. Pep Guardiola confirmed. So is that a bonus for Leeds? Yeah, of course it is. I think Walker, especially his pace down that right hand side, is lethal. So that's something that Leeds won't need to contend with. But obviously, at the minute, when they've not had a right back, Stones has filled in. He played against Madrid the other night um, at right back. He started off and then he went off injured, and then they put Fernandinho at right back, which Vinicius Junior for that goal just absolutely had his life, didn't he? In terms of pace and skill. So it'll be interesting to see how City set up. I don't know if Cancelo is available because he wasn't available against Madrid. That could have been a suspension, maybe. I don't know. So I think if he is fit, he'll probably start at right back. You're looking at a centre back partnership of maybe, I think they'll rest Diaz. So you're probably looking at Ake and Laporte and Zinchenko at left back. A midfield three, see KDB played the full 90 against Madrid. They may not want to risk him. I know they're hunting down a league title, but they may see this game as one that they could rest him. You're probably looking at Rodri, Fernandinho, and Bernardo Silva. And then a front three, I predict that will start based on certain games that they've played. I think Grealish will start. I think Sterling's going to start, and I think Jesus is going to start as well. Last league game, Jesus scored 4 goals and assisted 1 against Watford. Similar place in the table to us. We beat Watford 3-0, but it was very scrappy and City just picked them apart. So it just makes me so scared for this game. It really does. Leeds need to be smart in this game. The ball retention needs to be perfect. It needs to be spot on. I'm not saying that every pass is going to get to a man, but it needs to be a much improved display from Selhurst Park on Monday night. If we're going to have any minuscule opportunity of getting anything in this game, the ball retention needs to be spot on, and the midfield area is key. I think Phillips had an okay game against Palace. I think you could tell that the whole squad looked a bit rusty after having 16 days off since the Watford game. And obviously, in that time, Burnley picked up 7 points. So, there is pressure on Leeds. Of course there is. We've got City tomorrow, then we've got Arsenal and Chelsea. If we can get a point out of those 3, I'd be over the moon with that. I think Chelsea's probably the one that I'm targeting a point for. I think Arsenal are in a really good period of form. City, they're hunting down a league title. They will not want to lose this game. If they lose or draw, and Liverpool have got Newcastle away on the early kickoff. So if they win and then City lose or draw against Leeds United, we're basically going to give Liverpool the league, in my opinion, if that was to happen. However, I can't see it happening. I must admit, guys, I have to be truthful with you. I have to be real with you. I can't see anything other than a Man City win in this game. So at least if we do lose this game, I won't be leaving Ellen Road fuming or annoyed because I'll expect it. I expected a loss at the Etihad that night, but I didn't expect it to be 7-0. I have a friend who is a City fan who on that night actually said it was going to be 9-0 and he was nearly close. So hopefully it's not a scoreline like that tomorrow. I don't think it will be, if I'm being honest with you. Whatever scoreline it is, I do think City will win the game. But for me, I'm just looking at performance. If we can give a good account of ourselves in this one, Ellen Road crowd behind us. I'm not saying it'll affect City, but I mean, in terms of our team, it'll affect us in a good way. The crowd are going to be up for it from the first second. And I just hope that we see a much improved game from Leeds and, just try and limit City's opportunities. I'm not saying that I want us to go all out like Atletico and just have 9 men at the back. I aren't saying that. But we need to be clever. We need to pick us moments. And, you know, when City have the ball, which let's be honest, they're probably going to have the majority of the possession. So when they do have hold of the ball, let's just keep it tight, keep it compact, keep in shape, and try not to allow them to pick us apart easily. If they're going to win the game, then let's make them work for it. Let's make them work for every goal that they score. You know, if we lose 2 or even 3-0 to Man City, but play well, I won't have any complaints with that. As long as I see a performance that we can build on against Arsenal and Chelsea and Brighton and Brentford, then that's absolutely fine with me. Yes, you might think that's a bit of a weird mentality, but it's Man City that we're playing. They're the best team in the world. Them and Liverpool are the best teams in the world. So if we lose 3 or even 4-0, if we lose 3 or 4-0 against Man City but play well, then there's no shame in that. Don't get me wrong. I hope Leeds can prove me wrong on everything that I've just said there. If we were to shithouse a 1-0 win, if we were to hold them and frustrate them to a draw, I'd be absolutely over the moon. I'd probably act like we've won league if that happens. I just can't see it. When I get in ground though tomorrow, I'll be like, come on, we can do this. But no, again, I really, really hope I beg that they prove me wrong. I just can't see it, and I think a lot of Leeds fans are in the same boat. In terms of a score prediction, I think it'll either be 3 or 4-0. I think 4-0 at the most to Man City. I don't think it'll be quite as bad as the 7-0 at the Etihad. But yeah, I think 4-0 as a maximum. But yeah, 3 or 4-0. I just can't see Leeds getting near them in terms of even. If Leeds score a goal in this game, then that'll be an improvement on the Etihad. So yeah, I would just welcome a Leeds United goal in the game. But yeah, 3 or 4-0 to Man City, I think, people. But yeah, I'm waffling now, so we'll just leave it there. If you've enjoyed this one, please smash that like button. Please subscribe if you're brand new as well, and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already, then go check out the membership available on Chatting Leeds. As I said, it's £1.99 a month, and you'll see all the perks that do come with that. And I'll be back on the channel for my match review of the Leeds Man City game, and that'll be when I'm back from Ellen Road at some point tomorrow night. I'll see you in that one. Cheers.